Hello and welcome. Can agricultural GDP grow faster than what it is, and to what extent can business help pull that or push that? Well, I'm joined by Nadir Godrej, Managing Director of Godrej Industries and Chairman of Godrej Agrovet. Mr. Godrej, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
First question, 5% growth, is that enough? And what do we really need to do to take it to the next level?
Certainly, we can grow faster than that, given good weather conditions. Globally, yields of most cereals have been growing at just under 2% a year. So that kind of growth rate in yields can definitely be achieved. Indian yields are much below world average in many areas. There are a few things like rubber, tapioca, where we have world-beating yields. And now in corn, the hybrid corn is giving very good yields.
Right.
So
how is it that we have such good yields in some crops and not in others?
Because wherever we have hybrid seeds, and hybrid rice is now slowly coming into India, those farmers who use these materials and good practices, and then when the industry supplies good seed, they also teach the farmers the better practices. So there's a lot of potential, even in crops like cereals, etc., to get 3 to 4% growth. And by changing to higher valued crops, the sky's the limit.
Right.
I don't see
we're not
why we can't grow to
right.
8%. We are changing. There's a lot more horticulture happening in India. Vegetable production is rising, fruit production is rising, and they give much higher yields per hectare, value yields per hectare than cereals.
So when you say hybrid, I mean, is there a fear of using more hybrid because of other concerns?
No, hybrids are well accepted, except that the farmers have to come back to the seed company each year. But now they realize they're getting so much higher yields that the seeds are well worth it.
Right. So you're saying the lessons that we are perhaps learning from the rubber and the tapioca can be transformed or transplanted, to use the pun.
Definitely. And hybrid rice will improve rice yields as well. Though corn yields are significantly higher than rice yields.
As a country, however, we are not necessarily in short supply when it comes to food grain.
We are in food grains. No, we are actually exporting food grains.
Right.
Overall, we exported $40 billion worth of agricultural produce and imported $20 billion. So we are, at least in a good year, we are net exporters. And we could further increase exports because with high yields, we could be self-sufficient and export.
Right. So if I were to ask you to lay down the 3 key challenges for agriculture in India, I'm assuming one of them is improving yields.
One of them is improving yields. Another is rainfall and water supply. We probably need more irrigation. And water is not really short, but it tends to get wasted. So we need some kind of water pricing mechanism to make sure that the best use is made of the water. And where there is a common aquifer, we have the problem of overdrawing. So we need some kinds of commons management there. And where we have irrigation schemes, I think we need to charge a certain amount for the water to make sure that it's optimally used.
Okay. And would there be a
Free
third
power
point?
is a bad idea because it tends to people to overdraw the water.
Right. So you're saying management of water as an input to agriculture
and
should
management and supplying good seeds. These two factors could make a big change. Then moving to higher value added crops would of course provide a lot of growth.
Right. A more general question, are there too many people in agriculture in India?
Definitely, there are too many people, and that's going to change. One of the very disturbing factors is that farmers' children don't want to be farmers. To some extent, that's a good thing, because we probably need far fewer farmers than we have today. But we need at least some of them to become farmers. And along with certain partners, we are introducing a program which is a bit like Future Farmers of America, but it's going to be Indianized, designed for Indian farmers.
This is Godrej Agrovet.
This is Godrej Agrovet, along with other partners like Mahindra's and a few seed companies, United Phosphorus and companies like that. In America, since 1900, farmers' children have been getting a farm education as part of their school curriculum, and many of them have gone into farming as a result, and they're highly educated farmers. What we want in India is fewer highly educated farmers. We really want them to think themselves as technocrats.
Okay, and how will this roll out?
We will try and introduce these programs in schools. We'll start with Maharashtra, and we'll look to see if other states are interested.
Okay, right. So, and if I were to ask you a question looking more at the future, what do you think really ails Indian agriculture?
Actually, Indian agriculture is right now on a good footing. In the past, it was very bad. So we have a huge scope for improvement, and I see those improvement is coming in because there's a vibrant agribusiness sector. Some of the hurdles like APMC are being removed.
Dismantled.
There was a huge global commodity boom, which meant that agricultural prices all over the world went up. With the rupee depreciation, they went up even further in India. Now, this is bad news for Indian inflation, but good news for Indian farmers.
Okay.
And now this boom seems to have ended. It seems to have done its job. So I'm hoping that we'll also have lower inflation in India. But I expect that these high prices will continue, if not further rise. So inflation will be tamed, but the farmers will get good remuneration and expand.
Right. So you're saying prices are likely to remain high for the foreseeable future?
Yes, I doubt that they're going to decline a lot. They might decline somewhat, and the rupee prices will depend on the rupee exchange rate.
Right.
So
Right. Last question from a Godrej Agrovet point of view, and we're really, the role of agribusiness in agriculture. What are the kind of prospects and opportunities that you see?
we see a lot of growth in our oil palm business. We see big growth in our animal feed business. We've been able to bring new technology into animal feed, enabling us to use lower cost feed raw materials to get better impact on growth of the animals and better milk production, better quality of milk, all these sort of things. So we see a big future for our animal feed industry. We see a big future for our seed industry. Not only are we trying to improve yields, we're trying to get unique seeds which will enable us to build new businesses around the seeds.
Can you give us one example?
One example is high oil maize. We are looking at that. If we are successful with that, we think that India may have to import much less oil than it is currently doing. Maize yields, maize, corn, whatever you like to call it, yields are very high in India. Normally corn has 3.8% oil. If we develop a seed with a higher oil content, that could mean much more oil produced in India.
Right. So you're saying that overall India is on a good wicket when it comes
India
to
is an
agriculture.
excellent wicket in agriculture. This year, agriculture is growing as fast as the economy. I hope that continues, but not by low growth in the Indian economy. Let us hope that all the sectors grow at 8% or more.
Right. Mr.
And
Godrej.
agriculture can grow at that rate. I'm not promising it'll happen, but I'll work hard to do it.
Right. Mr. Godrej, thank you so much for speaking with us.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.